Diamonds, take one.
Welcome to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds. This episode, we have a friend of mine, Kevin Trinio Perdido. He is really a jack of all trades, dancer, singer, actor. We're going to be talking a little bit, hopefully a lot of it about all of it and his like really coated diamond moment. And there's not much to really say to introduce it without saying any much. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Is there anything I missed?
Hello, my name is Kevin Trinio Perdido. Everything that Cole has said, and now
Future
a
Broadway
quarantine
star,
chef.
hopefully. When the world is New York is
back to normal. I mean, they're in stage 4, so technically.
Say that one more time.
New York is in stage 4, aren't they? They're like back to normal, quote unquote.
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine in New York actually told me that it's California or Los Angeles, Southern California, that like in my bubble we're effed, but over there they're actually moving. Their numbers haven't been as bad.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So my first question is really like, tell us a little bit about you, like your, like if you want upbringing, what got you into the arts, if you will. Like, were you always just fascinated by which one came first, dancing, singing, acting?
The first thing, because I grew up in the church, and I started singing in choir and all that stuff. My parents threw me into doing anything musical. But the thing I really liked, that really caught my, I guess, gave me my performance bug was in high school when I was in the choir. I just really liked the performing aspect of singing. And then I joined the band I joined the jazz band. I was a percussionist. I was a percussionist, yeah. So I was a drummer in the jazz band.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So you drum too, man?
Yeah, 13 years now.
Wow. Okay, that's really
for a while.
Other instruments?
I played the trumpet for a little bit, but that career didn't last long. Yeah.
I love that. That's pretty sick. I did not have the like hand coordination or like it's so multitasking and like just
it's a lot of
delicate too, like all of that. Like just the, like hand, I don't know, I'm not even probably saying it well, but like just even to kind of do like a drum roll versus like hitting the drum at different like speeds.
Oh yeah. I mean there's a lot of instincts I guess that go into it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not that. I'm just a banger.
Whatever sounds good.
Yeah.
And that's like 50% of drumming. Whatever sounds good.
Yeah, that's wild. I love that.
Yeah. So it started off with music. So music was the first thing that got me into performing. And then in college, another side note, in high school, because of the Jabberwockies.
Oh, wow.
that's when I started to like pick up the dancing.
What was that? America's Best Dance
America's
Crew?
Just Dance Crew. Yeah. And I, like every other 14-year-old Filipino kid, I started like doing waves and stuff in my garage and started moving my legs around like I'm breakdancing on the floor.
I love that.
And then I dove really deep into to dancing, and then I got into like b-boying, breakdancing. That like the hip hop world.
Yeah.
Which is funny because before that I was a real like metalhead.
Okay, wow. So that was a real change up.
A switch up. My friends were like this, over the summer I stopped wearing like studded belts, studded wristbands, and started wearing like FUBU and stuff. Bathing ape, all that stuff.
Oh my god.
Wow. And then my friends over the summer, they're like, what the hell happened to you, man? You changed. And I was like, people change. Jabberwockies. I had a mask and everything. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, but throughout high school until my senior year, I was like always teased for it because I was a little chubby kid dancing in the gym.
Oh shit.
Blah blah blah. I remember there was one time me and like I kind of dragged 2 of my friends into auditioning for the talent show.
Okay.
And we call ourselves Rewind Crew.
Rewind Crew. I love that.
Rewind. And then And then we decided the list in the office. We came back after lunch and we saw someone wrote down like retards crew.
Oh
Drew,
no.
yeah, they drew like dicks all over it and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And
Real
then
high school moments, right?
I know, but I mean, I guess fortunately there weren't enough people that signed up for the talent show. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And so the talent show was canceled that year.
What? Okay,
So I
cool.
never got to perform it.
You guys would have
So
won
like,
though,
yeah.
probably for sure.
And so it was like,
That's why they canceled it.
yeah. They're like, oh no, we can't. We already know.
Talented already.
Yeah. And then I like did it low key. But it's funny because my senior year, because we had such a small class, I went to a really small private Christian school.
Oh yeah.
Everyone had like a most likely to.
Oh wow,
And
I love that.
mine was most likely to win America's Best Dance Crew by himself.
Oh.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, my class was great.
Probably true. How big was your graduating class?
50 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I went to a small Christian school up until 8th grade. It was only actually elementary to 8th grade, but I actually didn't graduate because I moved from, it was in Maryland or Boston, or outside of Boston, I should say. And then I moved to Maryland, but I know what that's like because like in all my, even though it was elementary to 8th grade, in the entire school, I think when I left, it was maybe a couple hundred, if that.
Yeah.
So like every class only had maybe 20, 22 students from like literally K through 8. Like
I
at
see.
most classes only had like 24, maybe 20, really pushing it up there.
Yeah. That's the same as my middle school. It was the same thing. It was pre-K. No, it was just K through 8.
Yeah.
And my class there was only, I think, 10 of us.
Wow.
There's only 10 of us who graduated from, and
That's
half of us,
really intimate.
half of those kids, including me, we went to that high school.
Got it.
So the 5 of us were part of that 50.
You guys were the 5 of you guys.
Yeah.
I love that, like that phrase, half of us. Yeah, the 5 of us.
Yeah.
That works.
Quick maths, easy maths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But and then in college, thank God, I met some people who were part of like this dance club, and I joined that. And throughout the school year, I didn't know that one of the directors of our dance club, she writes a musical every year.
Oh wow!
And she calls it the pop musical. Like she just takes the pop songs of that year and then try to write a musical around it.
Oh wow! Okay.
And she knew that I was in the chamber group, the choir, like the select choir at the university. And then she asked me, she was like, "Hey, do you want to read for one of the characters in my musical?" And I was like, "A musical? That's lame. All right, sure, whatever."
I'm a b-boy.
I'm a b-boy. I go hard in the paint. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna sing show tunes. She's like, no, these are pop songs. This is Bruno Mars. And I was like, oh, Bruno Mars.
Okay.
So I auditioned, and she gave me like the supporting role of the lead character, and then
dope.
And then through that, I was like, wow, this is actually really fun.
Yeah.
And then that's when the acting bug bit me. I mean,
I
looked back, I think like last year, on watching the old videos that someone recorded of me performing there, and I was like, ugh, cringy. That was my very first time. But I mean, I remember that being one of like the highlights of my college career.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that because like I started taking like just hip hop dance classes and jazz funk classes 2017 for the first time. And I just on Facebook, you know how they do those Facebook memories? One of them just came up with one of the first classes that I took that I like felt so confident to record with like just 2 other people, like so it's just the group of us.
Yeah.
And I was just like I posted this on Facebook. Like, why?
Oh no!
What? And I read the comments of people like, literally, I'm just like, you guys just love me. Like, you guys just are really good friends. Like this. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I even like wanted to like go back the 3 years to find it, to take it down. But I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like, why?
Just
But
start flagging it, report it to Facebook.
report myself.
Yeah. They're like, can you believe someone posted this of me? Who the hell recorded this?
Yeah. That's so funny. I love that.
But I mean, it's nice to see like where you started from, and then
Oh
just
yeah,
seeing
completely.
your progression. It's great to like
Completely.
know
Oh,
where you
for
came.
sure. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, no one was already hot shit when they started,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I would like to pretend though. I really
Yeah. Hey, I mean that's everything in life. You got to be confident.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. I mean, you do stand up, you got to be confident with
Yeah,
your
that's
material, you know?
real. That's real. And honestly, I would love to say that stand up probably really made me that much more confident, at least like tougher skin,
I'm sure.
you know? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Cuz
sure.
you got to be okay with bombing, you know?
Yeah. Which for the like the first like 2 years, I was not okay with bombing. Like, it was so like,
I'm sure, yeah.
it was so like, I could, because it's like one of the things I still even like love about like acting or auditioning in that realm is like, usually I've not actually been in a session or room where they've been like get out, like that was horrible, like just like, who is this guy, who like really just like,
Yeah.
usually people just like, thank you, whatever, have a good day, what,
Yeah.
like at worst for me. And but to be like on stage where you can like literally people heckle you, be like, you suck, or like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
It's like, "Ooh."
yeah, like, oh shit, like, and these are my thoughts, or like, this is my story, like, this is just me.
Yeah. Am I that bad? Yeah.
I love that.
I give so much respect to you guys who do stand up. Like, I don't know if I could handle that kind of criticism.
You
I mean,
could
I
have.
can in like
You're
a
hilarious.
classroom
Yeah.
setting, but like in an actual performance setting, I'd be like,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
shit, I'm performing, man.
Yeah. You're
What
right.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in improv classes, I remember at the Groundlings, like they would stop you in the middle of the scene and be like, it's not working, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Let's try it
Yeah.
over again. And I'm just like, all right, that's constructive
Yeah.
criticism. But like
Exactly.
in a setting where it's like I'm on a stage performing and
Yeah.
trying to set my material
Yeah.
straight and
Yeah.
someone goes, this is fucking lame. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of the joke.
I'm literally exactly. Exactly. Like, they're telling you, no, no, this isn't working. Please restart.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you deliver that
One more,
punchline a
yeah,
different way?
please.
Yeah.
So you have some improv in. You were at Groundlings.
I was at Groundlings, Second City, and
City.
this small theater in Burbank. I forgot what they were called. But yeah, that was the first thing I did in terms of like acting, which was a uh, good advice that somebody gave me at a commercial workshop.
Yeah, no, I mean, improv for sure helps so much with commercial auditions, I think.
Yeah, it helps with listening and
Yeah.
especially at the Groundlings. This is not an advertisement for Groundlings, but the Groundlings really helped me to.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get sponsored by them, hopefully.
I know, fingers crossed. Send that money over. I'm waiting for my
Send the
residuals.
clip.
Send the clip here. Here. Add a tag right now.
Yeah,
We'll get the check in the morning.
exactly.
There you go. They kind of taught me that like how to find a character's point of view within like seconds,
Yeah,
or like
right.
within like the first few minutes or first seconds of an improv
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Like but in such a quick way, because it's similar to how we do like at the studio, like the way we just how Mark tells you like break down a character, think of
Yeah,
like where
yeah.
the character's coming from and everything. It's like the same way. It's just quicker and it's like in a funny way, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was one thing that I was, because I actually hadn't done. I was involved with a small improv group that a friend did through a church actually that I was at.
Mm.
And
Laughs for Jesus.
yeah, me too, right?
Yeah, he did. He flipped a table once too.
Uh, so, and yeah, either way. And so I didn't have much improv experience, but quickly got really acclimated to it going to the studio. And honestly, it was so funny because you and I did a lot of improvs like my first month. Like, I think
That's right.
was like, oh shit, because you're so good too. So I was like, oh, the pressure. Oh, like, because you're
No.
so good at it. Like, because like the thing is, like you just said, there is that registering the character's frame of like, what would they say? Where are they at? Like, what are, but in seconds, you know what I mean? And still being able to listen to another person and what they're giving to you and being able
Right.
to like respond in that manner, at least for me. Like, it's like, oh shit. It's a quick way of thinking.
It is, yeah. And I noticed that the people who are really good at it are really smart people. Like,
Yes,
they're
right.
really smart people, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
But
just
that,
people who have a lot of experience, yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, they definitely go hand in hand, especially like doing like sketch comedy, like
Mhm.
knowing the beats and like having the audience ride along with you and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Same with like stand up, you know.
for
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
just it's there's a little more leeway in improv because they know that it's on the spot, you know,
Yes,
as opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
stand up where it's like you better be
But you
funny.
knew you were coming up here.
Yeah, you knew you had this material already.
Yeah,
Just better be funny.
yeah,
It's not like, all right, give me a suggestion of where these people would be eating lunch. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, Arby, and then yeah,
Going from
it's
there,
more
yeah.
expected.
Real talk, real
Yeah.
talk. Okay. And so we didn't say this, but you're, I'm assuming, because I think this, you're from Southern California, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised. And so what was it, we're kind of jumping ahead. Well, what was it that got you into, like, so you're not from LA, but you had to come to LA and either take classes or like, what were you like, okay, I'm going to try and pursue this? What was that? What were those thoughts? What were, like, what led you here?
So at the time, I was living in like San Bernardino. I'm gonna say a specific area, and
Okay.
I'm gonna expand on it. So I'm living with. I was at the time I was staying with my girlfriend in Colton because I just
Okay.
came back from tour. I didn't have an apartment or anything. Colton, which is bordering Loma Linda within San Bernardino County.
I
So
know
whenever
that
someone
area
asks me,
actually.
I say San Bernardino. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have friends. I actually have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but a good, like, probably like 10 at least friends in Loma Linda area, Riverside,
Yeah.
or not really Riverside, but Redlands and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That's this
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all super close to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neighboring cities. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's funny because none of you guys are the stereotype of what I've heard from people in this area.
Um, I'm not really from this area.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, don't put that out there.
No, I was like, don't, yeah.
And
I don't
that's
really.
actually true about a lot of my friends actually from there too, or in
Yeah. I
there.
mean, yeah. I mean, I went to college out here, so
Okay.
like a lot of my current and closest friends are out here.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And my girlfriend works at the hospital, like down the street.
Oh yeah, it's very, yeah, a lot of people that live in that area kind of work at the hospital
Yeah.
around there, or something that relates to the hospital.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so I came back from tour and I was in this area, and I wanted to be in LA, so I started auditioning for stuff out there when I came back,
Hmm.
and I did this play in LA where I met Steve and
Okay.
Sierra,
Oh yes,
and
yes, that you did come from the studio. Like, they at the studio first, or
I
you?
think Sierra was, or her roommate was,
Okay.
and then she joined while we were doing the play,
Uh-huh.
and then throughout the run, she invited Steve to come to an audit, a
Yeah.
class, and at the end of our plays run,
Hmm.
Steve uh, he invited me to
Yeah.
audit a class, and then I
There
just
it
never
is.
stopped. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never stopped going.
What was the play? Do you remember?
It was called not Once Upon a One More Time. That's my play, right?
Yeah.
That's
We'll get
Broadway.
there. We'll get there.
Bitch, that's current. It was called dang, what was it called?
You really just
Happily ever whatever or something like that. Happily
happily.
whatever after.
Oh,
It was a spoof of the Brothers Grimm plays. Like, I mean,
okay.
the fairy tales, you know, like
Yeah.
classic, like Little Mermaid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, stuff like that. Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
I don't actually
It,
think I've ever read that story. I think I just know. Are they brothers and sisters that kind of
brother
like
and sister, yeah.
play too
And
much?
then they it, see, I don't even know the story. I only know it from like Looney Tunes and stuff, like people who have done versions, or like Treehouse of Horror when The
Okay.
Simpsons did it. I've only that those are the versions of Hansel and Gretel
Yeah,
that I
I'm
know.
like I've only heard. Okay.
I know that a witch tried to eat them by fattening the kids. Like, she was a pedophile, and then she I don't know if she was a pedophile, but she wanted to eat children.
Well, I knew there was some weird stuff going on because I
Yeah,
actually thought that Hansel and Gretel were like friendly with each other. So maybe it was the witch that was trying to do it with the kids. Who knows?
she was.
We're like
Yes,
ruining these kid stories.
we are. Yeah, these kids, and a Wayfarer was involved, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Epstein.
Epstein was the witch.
This could be made into a Broadway
You know,
musical.
Family Guy might make this into
Yeah,
something.
exactly. So you heard it here first, though, guys.
Yeah,
But
trademark.
that's funny. So let's so yeah, the play you wrote right. The rest was history with the studio.
Yeah, I just kept going back to the studio because I was trash jumping into the studio, and I was just like, I just want to
I'm
I
sure
want to
that's
be
not
I want to be
true.
better. You know?
Yeah.
It was just a place where I could feel confident to fail
Yeah.
and like just try new things and not feel too ashamed about it, but
Completely. I'm kind of getting
still
there.
grow.
What's crazy is like you say that, and because I met what people don't know. We didn't say this. I didn't say this yet. I met you through the studio, this acting studio that
Hmm.
we were at, and I was pretty new, and I came from comedy and really feeling confident in comedy and stuff like that. But really going into the acting world per se was like, oh man, this is a different. Like it was feeling like a newbie all over again in a way, and it
Yeah.
was like such a weird vibe. And so like I'm starting to. I've now been there almost going on a year, even though it's like fucking quarantine. That's crazy. But I'm getting, or I am at a place where I'm like, oh yeah, this is my space. I can fail. I can try different things, and I have been, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
But when I first started, that is not. I was like, I have to be the best. Like, I got to try the hardest in here and
Yeah.
like shine the most, and not even like shine the most, but I'm trying to keep up because like you guys are all like freaking just hitting it out the park each takes and all scenes and
No, I totally get you. That was the same mentality I had going in. I was just like, all right, I come from an improv background. I know I can be the funniest person during
yeah,
improv.
yeah,
Throw me into a scene and I am like a deer in the headlights.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
just
Shannon.
speaking words that I've read.
Real talk.
But
So how'd
yeah.
you really supported you in transitioning all that? Like, cause like now you're like, you know that you're the shit. You should know that at least.
Nah.
I mean, we're about to
No.
talk about how you booked freaking Broadway. Not too many just okay people book Broadway, and not a lot of people I know can say that. So like, what is that like for you? Or how'd you get to
Um
the place of being confident and like?
I think just being in the studio and kind of, like you said, like stepping into a new environment and feeling like, oh, I am not like top of the food chain here.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that because I've always been like an underdog. Like
Yeah.
in like whatever I did, like with dancing, I'm always like the smallest one, or I always get picked last to be in like a position because I used to be on a dance team and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all about like levels and heights and different like
Yeah.
patterns and stuff
And
like that,
and like at the time, like I wasn't that great of a dancer and stuff like that.
Oh,
And I think that's coming from like a competitive dance, like hip hop dance, like a community. I think that really helped me build the whole, get to work for, work for the good spots, work 10 times as hard as the person who's already in that spot.
real talk.
Because like it was like one of those things where it's like if he's not if that guy the spot that I want isn't like up to par, or is like, if he's fucking up, like you best believe I'm coming for that spot.
Yeah.
So that mentality was already there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's different with like dancing, because it's very just like straightforward, like this is right and wrong. And when jumping into acting, it was like I'm gonna be the best, but it was like, oh, I have to understand like so many different aspects that aren't as similar to dancing. Like I mean, to be like a really good actor, you have to have a really like you have to be really interested in psychology, because like just knowing how another human
real talk.
Stepping into those shoes, and you got to have like a lot of empathy and everything. And I don't want to say that there wasn't any of that in the dance world, but I remember the things that I loved about the dance team that I was on was when we did themed sets, because I get to pretend to be a certain character, or like that would get my adrenaline going, because I'm thinking like, all right, this is coming next, what am I going to think in this next piece or whatever. But yeah, I think that jumping into the studio and like just learning how to empathize and learning how to like just being open to like learning new things and just not thinking that I'm the hot shit or whatever. I think that just made me a better person, a better performer. Because it's like, because with dancing, it's like you could get easily stuck into, I'm going to try this move every single time I perform it, as opposed to like the really good actors, like they can approach it from a different,
real talk
headspace, like looks like that. But
one of my manager, or not one of my my only manager,
one of my managers, one of my 12 managers. I think Phil was his name.
One of the things that she taught me pretty early on with auditioning, at least, even just like running over lines and stuff with her, because she's pretty hands-on with that kind of stuff. That was me.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. I really love that. Is like we always like the first 3-4 times doing it just completely different, and like I really love that in the sense of like, like you were just saying, like there was a time where I actually do feel like I've kind of been mostly natural, but like it is a sense of like sometimes just reading words, and that's not gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I did that a lot at the beginning. I wouldn't say a lot, but enough. And yeah, but like you just said, trying it different ways, and we love that about having the space even. But what was I gonna say? What are techniques that you think have supported you in like the auditioning process? So what's your mindset in getting that prepared?
First of all, thank you. I mean, like you said, just take it seriously, and just, I don't know. I think everybody has something different to bring, and then just knowing what you have to bring to the audition. I mean, because I know that there are certain characters that I can't be.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a time when we were reading for like an Ozark like redneck type character, and I was like, dude, I can't do this. So I'm just gonna switch it up. And like I think Mark says it, like it doesn't matter if you book the role, as long as as long as they remember you, and they notice you, and they're like, like he's good, not for this role, but I'm gonna keep him in mind for something else next time, and that's the important thing. Like if you can, like that was the goal that I had every time. It was just like if you can watch my performance and you could just believe it, if you just be like, oh, I could see him as this, or like he's good at
Yeah.
putting that character up, but not for this role, but something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know. And it's just fun.
Yeah, no, I guess the best way I should have asked that is like, how do you translate out, like, because other listeners are kind of in the entertainment world, and I feel like we all audition. Like, what would you say is something that you take from doing that to the auditioning world? Like, actually, the rooms.
I mean, because I think like if you can't, yeah.
I was like, did I ask a question?
I get what you're saying. I mean, because if you can't be loose, even in a class setting, then you can't be loose. You know, you can't even attempt to be loose in the real world. You know, in a real audition. So it's like, throw your entire bag of tricks in class, so that when you know, you because the best thing about doing mock auditions in class is that you get to watch them after. And naturally, as you know, humans, especially as actors, you look at yourself and you think of all the negative things that you can fix. But what's great about having another classmate be a casting director is them pointing out the things you did right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, you know, there's a lot to take away from that.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And I actually hate and love the watching them back. You know,
same. Like when he asked, like, how'd you do? And I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah. Literally, we will see.
Yeah, all of us will.
Yeah. And for me, it was never like, I think I can, especially now with the podcast, I've gotten a little bit more used to it. But the idea of seeing yourself or seeing myself was just like, oh, I like seeing the things that I do that maybe just, oh, I didn't know I even did that. But also what's really reassuring on a positive note is seeing what does work that I didn't even know. I was like, oh, wait, that wasn't even as bad as I thought. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know, like, so it's kind of nice to be like, oh, maybe I didn't destroy that audition, or like not destroy, but like just like it wasn't as bad as I thought. If like I'm even feeling that way if I'm looking at it. So I want to kind of jump into Corona, but not just yet, because Corona I feel like affected you even in a like bigger way than some people. And I shouldn't say than some, because you know, a lot of people have very different lifestyles and impacts and stuff like that. I want to respect it, and I feel like you were in such a big, like you literally moved to New York, and then Corona, COVID. Hey, New York's probably not the place to be.
Miss Rona.
Yeah. So can we talk like rewind and talk a little bit about like, so you audition and book something in New York, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was
on an infamous little street.
Yeah, I was in development for the new Britney Spears musical. It's not the Britney Spears musical. It's it's a jukebox musical, guys. Relax. We're using her music. So we're using her music to like fairy tales. It's very funny.
Yeah.
We were I want to say at least.
And it's called
Once Upon a One More Time. You could look it up on Broadway World. There's like a gist of what our show's about. But we were, I want to say 75 to 80% finished, not polished, but finished with the show. Yeah. And then one Friday, we all gathered up at the end of the rehearsal, and they were like, Broadway is shutting down. I think our rehearsals need to shut down too.
Wow.
And
was this before like kind of we knew as a country that this was going to happen, or were you guys like,
what do you mean
with all of us? Because I feel like slowly different states were kind of like we're shutting down. Was this like early February, or was this like March, in the middle of March, with like everybody kind of like...
Oh, this was with everybody. This was middle March.
Yeah,
because Broadway shows were still trying to stay open. Like I was about to watch what's it called, the West Side Story revival. The week after, I was like, I'm gonna get these tickets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finally see this.
Yeah.
Because you should look at the trailers and everything. Like it looks so good. It's like a modern take on a West Side Story. But anyways, I was gonna take not raffle. I was gonna buy these cheap tickets online, and then all of a sudden, the week before, Broadway was like, we might shut down, and I was like, no,
not now.
And then the next day, yeah, and then our producer showed up at rehearsal, and I was like, oh, this can't be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I had a friend who was on an off-Broadway show, and actually our choreographer and director, they directed that off-Broadway show too. And the day before we stopped rehearsals was their last show.
Oh, wow.
Because of the pandemic. They're supposed to go for a few more months. They're supposed to go until like May.
Wow.
But yeah, we all were like shook with how hard this pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Because like no one expected Broadway, even like movie theaters, to be closed down. You know,
freaking filing for bankruptcies. Like what?
Yeah, it's wild. Like
wild. Like the world really just got flipped.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's kind of what keeps me sane with the whole first week or first month of dealing with not having a job or you know, not being able to get my Broadway debut and having to come back to you know, California is that I'm not alone. Like there's so many other people
completely
like struggling right now, and like I have it not that bad because like there are people who have whole families that they need to provide for.
Completely, I know.
So like, if anything, those are the people that you know that like you know they need the most help.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So humbling that you can say that as well, and because like I totally full-heartedly agree with you, at least in my own situation as well, not having dependence and you know like just a more freer lifestyle, if you will, and I'm lucky enough to just have a charge you better save job. But just I think because what we haven't also said is you being in LA or Southern California had to go to New York, look for an apartment, find an apartment. Because what day did you move to New York actually?
February 29.
February 29. What day did you come back to Southern California?
March like 20 or something.
Not even a full 30 days.
No, man. Not even a whole month.
Not even a whole month.
No,
that's really crazy, or not crazy, but I love that the humbling mindset of, you know, there are other people that have it, you know, worse, and we all experience it in different ways, but
know, of course, and it's I mean, I can't be selfish and say that, oh my God, my world is falling apart, because it's really not. Yeah, I mean, I still have a roof over my head and everything.
Are they planning on, like, obviously when there is a motion to still go back into production and like things
our producer, she definitely wants to get this going, but I was talking to my director a few days ago, and he was saying that if anything, I mean, we don't know if we're going to have a Chicago like preview run. Because knowing such and such, our producer's name, she would want our production to be a full-fledged Broadway run. So we'd just go straight to Broadway. Yeah. So we don't know when. I mean, right now the pushed again date for Broadway to open up, which was supposed to be September this year, has been pushed to January.
Wow.
So we'll see where our production lies, because we're not even a running show. Because my friend
stage 4
and stage 4.
That just scared me. I'm like, we're like stage -1.
You know, we have not really done well. No.
Oh, like, dang, you guys said January.
Yeah, I know. New York's doing well. Because I see my friends like their Instagram stories, and they're like in Central Park chilling, very spread out.
Yeah.
And then like there's masks, but it looks like a normal day in the park.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
slowly getting back to speed in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, of course, people are taking precautions because we still don't
Of course.
completely
Wearing your
know.
mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see when we get up. And I'm not really like tripping. I mean, I think that for as long as I remember, like in my life, like whenever something bad happens,
Yeah.
something really good happens. Like not right away, but like
cold a diamond, baby.
exactly. Yeah, something is bound to happen. Like it can only go up from here, unless Yellowstone erupts. Then we're all dead. But knock on wood. I think that it could, something good is going to happen.
For sure.
Not now, maybe.
Providence, baby, right?
Exactly.
Providence.
Yeah. Providence, Rhode Island.
Exactly. And with that being said, what was my next question? Or not really question, but what was it? Do you remember what that feeling was like? Just being like, oh man, like Broadway, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be rehearsing there. I'm gonna be living there. Like I'm now gonna have to go look for an apartment there. Like what was that all like? That rush, or like, what was that experience like for you?
So I remember I was doing In the Heights in Rancho Cucamonga. And I remember just like see what I can take from the old productions of In the Heights. And I was watching this PBS documentary about the show being developed and everything, and then thinking like, damn, that would have been so cool to have like been a part of that and everything, and like them rehearsing in the studios. And then there was a section when this guy was he played Graffiti Pete. His name is Seth Stewart, and he was like walking on Broadway, and he was like, he's like, yeah, Mom, they're putting up the poster for our show right now, and then it unraveled, and it was him on the poster, and then he was like shook. He was like broke down, and he was like, Mom, there's a poster of me on Broadway, and then I was like, damn. I was like welling up, you know? I was And I was like, man, that would be cool. And then thinking, jumping forward to when I booked it, which is funny because I was in New York still when I booked it.
Yeah.
They called me and said, should we contact you like the day after my second call back? They were like, do we talk to you, or do we tell your manager for any further instructions or whatever? And I was just like, me and my manager are gonna split ways soon, so just come through me. And then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, they're like, talk to me. And then they're like, oh,
manager who?
Well, nah, he was a good guy. But they're like, well, congrats. And I remember that day we went to it was me, my girlfriend, and our two other friends. We were at a rooftop bar. And then it hasn't hit me yet, because I was just like, oh my god, I got a job. I got like a big job. And then we were at a rooftop bar, and then our waitress was like, she was like, you guys celebrating anything? And then what my friend was like, well, this guy just got onto Broadway. And then she was like, no way. And I was like, oh, I thought it's like not a big deal.
Like,
oh, it's just whatever. And then she was like, I kid you not, she said, literally every gay guy working at this bar dreams of being on Broadway. And I was like,
facts, okay. Probably too.
Yeah, she was great. She was great.
That's
too.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh.
You may not make it out alive.
Don't tell them who I am.
Yeah.
Let's break his legs.
Rip his skin off and wear it to the room.
All right.
I know that might be too far.
Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, were we not going that far?
Ooh, this escalated. So this is me. Thank you so much for having me. It's like, have you seen that episode of The Office when they learn CPR?
Oh no, but I've seen like
You see the
pictures.
clip
Yeah,
when
yeah,
Dwight cuts
yeah,
off the
yeah,
mannequin's face
yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
God, he would have done that to
They're
me.
like memes and stuff of that now.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So, real quick, any last little things that you want to share that maybe I didn't ask that you're like, oh man, why didn't you ask me that?
I think now is like a good time for, because I remember I made a recent dance video because of inspired by a panic attack I had.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I think
That's
now yeah,
inspired by a panic attack.
inspired by, yeah, which are not fun. Panic attacks are terrible.
No, I've had one before.
Yeah. I've been very much like aware of my mental health recently, and I think a lot of people being stuck at home with their own thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
Not for all people, but a good amount of people who don't know how to deal with, mental health.
Yeah.
And with so much information like roaming around the world, it could easily get,
yeah.
it could easily get like misconstrued and everything, and it could just get in your head and just really fuck with you when you're sleeping, or like just when you're sitting down in your own like deep dark thoughts or whatever. I think it's good to just, for everyone to like just find someone to talk to, or like even find professional help. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like therapy is just being able to talk about your problems on a more professional scale. I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about your feelings. It doesn't make you less of a man or less of a woman. Like, just I think, especially right now, like people need to. It's hard being alone. Just you got to go outside, like get some sunlight, or like talk to people that you miss, or talk to people in general. With a mask on if you're outside. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Or if
I mean, if you want to take extra precautions, even while you're Zooming, you could wear a mask, but that's just useless. I mean, but yeah, in all seriousness,
summer fashion.
It's just I've personally been like trying to find different ways to like open up about things that I haven't before, and I think now is a good time to try to reevaluate myself or whatever. I mean, I'm young. I got a lot to think about, but at the same time, just trying to fill my brain with like serious stuff, but also things to distract me. Like, I've been playing a lot of video games lately to kind of like, if things get too heavy, I just like, all right, I just want to get lost in something that I don't have to really think. And I think that's with like with our show, our Broadway show, Once Upon and One More Time. It's just like a really cathartic show with a good message in it too. But like, it's just a fun show. Like Britney Spears music. Like, how can you not like love?
I was literally just about to ask too. I was like, oh man, I forgot to ask. So you do like Britney Spears music too then? It's so hard not to. It's like, especially like I was saying earlier to you before we were recording, like I'm not even like, even as a gay, I'm not like some people. Britney Spears is our queen. Beyonce is the only queen, and Lady Gaga as well. I have a few queens, but Beyonce is the top one for me. But I love Britney Spears music, and like to dance to, it's such great dancey music, and to the gym, like work bitch, that's definitely my fucking cardio jam right there.
Yeah, her music is really good. Like the what's it called? What's that song? How does it go? It's like, loneliness up ahead, where do I go?
See, I said she's not my queen, so.
Right. I think of Britney Spears as like the white girl's Janet Jackson.
Oh my goodness, I could see that. Yes. Yeah.
Because like, if you watch her concerts, it's not like Beyonce, because Beyonce, like, she fucking slays her concerts. Not saying that Janet Jackson doesn't, but like,
I love you, man. Oh, you just spoke to my heart.
But I remember watching like one of Britney Spears' concerts, and I'm just like, damn, this is like,
Yeah,
it's just nonstop. You know what I mean?
completely. We actually had one
Yeah.
of her backup dancers on the podcast as well, Mr. Jose Omar.
Oh, really? Nice.
And Janet, actually. He's been Janet, J-Lo, Britney. His list goes on. But either way, yeah, no, the white Janet Jackson. I love that.
Not the white Janet Jackson. She's the white girls.
The
Janet.
white girls, Janet Jackson. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. There is the correct quote.
There you go. Yeah. I don't want to end up on BuzzFeed.
No, I know.
Can you believe?
Can you believe? Without like sharing anything, like any pieces of music that would be in the musical, what's a Britney Spears song that you hope to perform, or that you would love to perform in the
in the show, or just like as me?
In the show.
Oh, Circus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun song.
That is a fun one.
That one, and in our show, it's mainly girls who do it, but it's I think it's called Pretty Girls. All around the world, pretty girls.
Yes, I do actually. Yeah.
That's a hype song. That is a hype song.
Yeah.
But also, if I could, I would also do Boys. Sometimes a boy just needs one, you know?
Oh, I don't know that one. Which
you don't know that one?
Know?
Oh, I sang that wrong. It's like, boys, sometimes a girl just needs one. Boys, to love her and to hold. You don't know that one?
I love it.
No.
No, but I'm already agreeing with it. Yeah, totes. I'm like, which album? See, I'm like, I only know a few. Like, there's actually one of my good gay friends like gonna listen to this and be like literally pissed at me. But
you're gonna get some hate mail.
Yeah, right. Real But I just listened to like kind of the hits, and like I'm not like one to go. I think Glory was the first Britney Spears album that I listened to. Like, oh, she has an album, and I'm gonna listen to like the whole album and like give it a take. And then since then, I think I've done that. But either way, here we are. Since you asked, what would be your favorite Britney Spears song just to even perform then, if you were to perform?
Actually, I've already performed with this song, but I would love to do it again. One More Time.
Ooh, of course.
Yeah. I remember I did a cabaret
classic
type show, and I was in in a mini skirt, and then I was dressed like how she was in the music video.
Oh shit! Oh damn! Okay.
The schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would love to do that again.
Send me a video.
There is no video.
Oh no! But that's really good. I like that.
Yeah.
And
her classic. Yeah.
What was that?
I said her classics are just fun.
Her classics, especially the classics are fun. I was gonna say earlier, real fast. Thank you again for that little tidbit on mental health, because like for me, that has been such a huge, especially with, I mean, as a Black man, this world that we are in and just the conversations that are going on have been so like, and just videos, and of course me being an advocate and talking about it, like researching, I'm like so in it. There has been so many moments of my own mental health and being like, what is the balance? You know, when can I, but taking the time to not just be so in my own thoughts and like in my feelings and emotions, and especially the things that are going to make me feel certain emotions constantly, you know? And I think a lot of people I even myself, like I'm very forthcoming with my feelings and emotion, but like normally I label myself like the comedian or entertainer or just funny guy. So it's also like not in my nature to feel and talk about these things as much, or I guess not feel, but like to talk about the feelings as much.
Yeah.
And in our world, I think we do get to talk about these things and our feelings and just thoughts, because being left alone in your own, you can't think your way out of your own thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so tough to do that alone.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes you're your own worst enemy when it comes to that.
yeah.
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 And I think and that's hard with like being a comedian, I'm sure, because
Yeah.
uh uh because everyone looks at you as just like, oh, he's the funny guy, he's my
Yeah.
funny friend or whatever.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
but a lot of, it's hard to just step away from that for a second and just be like, okay, it's okay to turn off
Yeah.
for a quick second, just realize, okay, I'm just a person.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm just a regular ass human being like everybody else. I don't have to be the funny guy today.
Exactly.
I don't have to be the angry guy today.
Yeah.
I don't be anything. Like, you could just sit down and just be neutral for the whole damn
Yeah.
day if you need
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
I remember because in rehearsals I would normally be like the guy to like the good cop instead of like the bad cop. I'd
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
everyone, like make sure everyone has a good time or whatever.
Mhm.
And I remember one time when I was doing Mamma Mia, when like, yeah, Mamma Mia, I was like, there was a point where I was just like getting drained, and everything, like mentally. And
Yeah.
then my friends, like, they always wanted to go out, the castmates, and I was just like,
Uh-huh.
and I told one of my friends, I was like, I can't tonight. Like, I'm not in a good headspace right now. I need to go. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, it's okay, dude. Like, I understand. You don't have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And so I was like, holy shit. I don't have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I do.
Everyone is not like, especially looking at friends who, like, that they have such a positive spirit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
They're not like that all the time.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
probably
there's a way
behind
you gotta
closed doors.
recharge to do that, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like maybe behind closed doors, they're like really hurt inside or something. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has, multiple emotions. No one's like a one emotion person,
Yeah,
unless you're like a
exactly.
fucking robot.
Exactly. And even
Yeah.
that, there's like
Yeah.
probably something to assess here, you know?
Yeah. Instead of like looking for that one friend for like a laugh or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
maybe give them something to laugh about too. Maybe they're going through stuff. Yeah. Everybody has demons.
Yeah. A podcast that I listened to a long time ago, actually, with this lady named Candace Silver, said it just reminded me a lot of like going into a lot of relationships, even like friend relationships, but any relationship, not like what can I bring, not really what can I receive, like, so instead of like looking for somebody to entertain you, what about entertaining others, like that. And you get it full circle, it comes back, you know what I mean? It's not like because it's not like you're giving something up to do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you said something that really reminded me of that, which is really cool.
Yeah. And it's funny because like when the pandemic first like put everyone in quarantine and everything, one of my friends, Jasmine Raphael, her brother puts on a show.
Yeah.
Her brother puts on a show, and this time was the quarantine version, and the theme was for all the performers to sing a song that like uplifts you or whatever, or something that makes you happy. And most people sang songs that are like very heartfelt and like gets them through like really rough times or whatever. But I sang something that was like satirical. It was funny.
What was that?
It was what's it called? It was Flight of the Conchords. Think about it.
Okay.
It's really dry humor, but it's like, but the goal of it was just like,
think about it.
What's more uplifting than comedy? Yeah. Because like, especially with all the heaviness of whatever the news is delivering to us, like especially with like all the numbers of people getting infected or dying, and then all the social injustices and everything like that. Like sometimes you just need a good laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, one of the reasons I got into Rio and I were actually talking about this. One of the reasons I got into comedy or started doing comedy, or at least continued doing comedy at least, was to give people that space, one, to bring people of all different races and just different like cultures together,
Yeah.
and like have a common, like, we're just laughing and having joy in one space together, but also have that, you know, maybe you just had a shitty work day or like whatever. This is your moment to forget about those times, to laugh and have it with the community, you know what I mean? And to
Yeah.
provide that, you know? And so, yeah, I totally can. Calm definitely does. It's the best medicine. One of those. I
Absolutely.
definitely
Yeah.
believe that.
And I say this really lightly, like that it's okay to like sulk in your own thoughts and
Yeah,
like feel down or whatever. But we can only do that for so long.
for sure.
Yeah,
I actually have
you
a
can't let it consume you.
yeah. I have a quote on my wall, and I can't show you guys because then you'd see the rest of my. This is the most clean portion of my room to show.
Okay.
I'm afraid. Well, also the lighting and stuff too is right there. But it says literally, just because I feel this way doesn't mean I have to be this way. And I love that quote because it reminds me, like, to feel emotions, you know, to feel feelings, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I have to particularly be those emotions. Like, because I'm angry, it doesn't mean that I have to be an angry person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or because I'm like shitty, whatever the case may be, whatever the emotion, doesn't mean I have to like physically put that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still great to feel. I think even us as artists, it's really even that much more important for us to feel our emotions because I think so much beautiful work comes from it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely putting the emotions into art is, the category that we
Yeah.
fall into.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with comedy, like frustrations can come out to be like some of the best material.
Oh, for sure. Because I mean, some of us especially can relate to a lot of frustrations, whether it be like with friends, family, relationships, work, coworkers, you know, bosses, you know, like we've
Yeah.
all kind of been in some kind of like there is that similarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap up, and you're the first guest that I get to. I did say on my last podcast that was most recent,
Mm-hmm.
because some of them have been recorded prior, and we're getting just to putting it out there in the social climate that we've been in. But the question is, or I'm asking each guest the same question at the end of the podcast. The question is, we've all heard the quote, be the change that you wish to see. What is the change that you, Kevin, wish to see, and how are you going to be that?
This comes from like this personal experience.
Yeah.
Um, just from both sides of the spectrum, just getting to listen and to other people what they have to say instead of just hearing it, because there's a big difference between listening and hearing.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't like what they have to say, hear them out and listen
Yeah.
to what they're saying and where they come from.
Yeah.
And also like not judging people from like a straight up like how do I say this, like judging a book by its cover. Like that's the most cliche thing I could think of, but because you don't know where these other people like have come from or like whatever experiences they've experienced, and just having empathy for people, especially people who like people who have so much like hate, or people who have so much they want to say to you, whether it be like hurtful or just like information you just want to shout at you or whatever. Just it's just like there are people too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why they're saying what they want to say, and just knowing that like maybe they're hurting inside too, that's what led them to this. Maybe something bad that's happened in their life that's led to this. And just I think as like human beings, like we have this thing inside of us that like we want to feel validated somehow. And that's why people feel like they haven't been validated all their life. That's what they want to like get to this such aggressive point. You know what I mean? And I think that especially it also comes with like all the social injustices that are happening right now. Like it's all about like being looked at as an equal, you know? And it's really hard right now, like with the climate that's going on. And it's hard to like, it's a very hard thing to like fix.
Yeah.
Because the spectrum is so split right now. I mean, I have, whoever would listen to this, like, you don't have to like listen to what I have to say and take it as like, you know, all he knows what he's talking about. I'm just saying what I want to say, and that's part of like, you know, being human. Like, it's just everyone has something they want to say, something they want to like express. And I have family members on like both left and really right, or really left, really right, and friends who are really left, really right. And I don't want to say if I'm either or, because like there are things I could take from either side. You know what I mean? And I think it's just it's really hard to get to the people who are on either side, like really far.
Yeah.
But I think just letting them know that you listen to them and letting them know that, you know, I'm still here for you. It's like, that's the best we could do right now. Because I mean, being cooped up, like in quarantine right now, it's just having everyone's emotions build up. And finally, when they get out, they can vomit it on, you know, onto the world. I don't know if anything that I said made sense, but I don't know. It's a hard thing to express because I have been talking to a couple friends about this too. Like we have a lot of friends who are like starting to talk about politics all of a sudden, who never have, and it's just like, oh, okay, all of a sudden you're throwing this out there, or like all of a sudden you hate this, all of a sudden, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the mental health thing comes in to play. Like everyone's just sunken into their own thoughts because some people live by themselves, and it's like, who else can they talk to, you know? But also just love one another. The golden rule: love thy neighbor no matter how much your neighbor hates you. I mean, I hate the term turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
But like, two wrongs won't always make a right, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, the best thing we could do is spread love. And with us, it's like through our art.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever you do. I mean, if you make masks, make masks. If you like putting designs on them and stuff like that, that's dope. Whatever you do, if you cook food and like give it out to the community or whatever, or people who really need it, you know, help your fellow man. If someone spews hate at you, tell them, I love you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so funny because I definitely hear you, and I love this question. Like, I mean, it definitely
it's a hard question.
It's a hard one, but I gave it to you a little early too, right?
Yeah, it's still hard though.
It is.
I'm a small person, and like, what the fuck am I gonna? How am I? It's hard. It's hard to say that because it's like being a single person in a world of like billions. It's like, how am I gonna change the world?
Yeah.
You know?
But I think. Well, at least I shouldn't say I feel like as artists, I think I don't see that we're that small, like because you never know how far a video would go or
True.
Especially nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially with, I think, being around such talented people like ourselves, I don't think that it's far off that we're going to make it to Broadway or to the big screen or to Netflix special or wherever, you know what I mean?
Good point. Yeah.
And so I definitely hear you. And what I love that you said, and the things that I'm taking away from that is one, listening. Just I think that's so important. I think I definitely listen well and get to listen even that much better. And I'm also taking away like I always preach like love thy neighbor and just love each other, and it's definitely something that I've gotten to really, 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 really practice.
Yeah.
And I love the word practice because practice doesn't mean I'm perfect.
Yeah.
It means that I'm practicing.
I totally get you. No, yeah.
Showing up.
There's so many
And
people that like disagree with things that I have to say, and it's just like, all right.
yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely hear you. And what I love that you're saying and doing is that you're just what's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
See, I I hate to be that person too already. Cause I'm like, see, I'm a Sag and I we love, but
You're
then like
SAG?
Sag.
Congrats. I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
When'd you get your SAG card?
I love that.
I'm so proud of you.
I legit was like, no, I said Sag. Yeah, and what I was gonna say was like, we love until we stop loving, and then we done. But I've done a lot of, and like one of the things that a lot of people that even are listening know me from different walks of life, and one of the things that I've really prided myself on the last 5 years, actually, the 27th, yesterday was my 5-year anniversary on like the day and the time that I really started investing in my mental space and the beliefs that I'm operating out of and looking at my own inner demons and traumas and things that I've held on to that just I can fucking need to stop living out of anymore. Like they're not serving me, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. And so I know that we all have those things that we're operating out of. And so it makes me even think the people that are like, one of the things that really is true for me is the sadness in my heart. Some of it comes from literally being so sad to see people hate each other so much. It's not just seeing the physical brutalities and just like hatred. It's like I'm so sad that another human has that mental space and capacity of hatred for another human. You know what I mean?
Just the fact that it's in their heart.
Exactly. That's what really saddens me. And I know hurt people. And that's why I definitely, everything you said, I'm just like, yes, Kevin. And I'm just like, but people been trying me.
I know.
Kevin, people have been trying.
You know, man, I'm sure.
You know,
people have been really like trying each other, like now, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it hasn't before, but it's like people are really like trying to get at each other.
Yeah, it is.
I don't understand.
But thank you. Or is there any little final tidbits and thoughts you want to throw out there?
Oh yeah, to end on a positive note, I love you.
I love you too, my dude. Thank you. Thank you. And I was honestly just gonna say thank you once again for being on the podcast, taking time for really sharing your story. I know there's like what I really want people to get, and because it's not like I specifically asked you, what's your turning coal into diamond moment, even though there was a specific time I said it. It's really about like, it's a framework, it's a mindset of like you just said, like you didn't say this, but all things shall pass, in the sense of like, it's only up from here. You know what I mean? And it's like things usually, when shit hits the fan, usually something good is on the other end of that. It's some sort of passion, you know what I mean? And I definitely want people to continue to get from this podcast. It's not like we all wake up feeling like we're the shit. It's work and it's support and it's having good people around you. It's listening, it's loving each other, and, you know, surrendering, going with the flow, like knowing that there's something on the horizon, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Because I think sometimes staying in that tunnel, not talking about feeling dark in the tunnel, whatever things like those are the keeping the coal, or those are the moments that we're really staying in, the feelings and being that person rather than just feeling the emotions and like then overcoming them. Or I don't want to ramble too much because it's the end of the podcast, but thank you for sharing your story. And can you share any like socials? Where can they find you? Things like
All right,
that.
you can find me. You can find me on Friendster, and I'm playing Zanga. Zanga.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that. LinkedIn.
No,
SoundCloud.
LinkedIn. No, I don't have a LinkedIn. Instagram. Perderder _K. PERDER_K. That's pretty much all. I don't have a website.
Yeah,
No, I don't have
a Twitter, TikTok.
I don't have
a TikTok right now.
I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have
What?
a Pornhub account. I don't have.
Oh my God! OnlyFans, give it to us. Don't hold out on us.
No, I got kicked off OnlyFans.
Oh, you did?
I'm just No, really.
The tea comes out.
Instagram. Oh, if you look up my whole name, Kevin Trinio Perdido on YouTube, I got a small YouTube account.
Yeah.
Stuck in quarantine, so I'm gonna be making some more videos real soon. So be on the lookout for that, I guess. Be on the lookout for whenever our show opens on Broadway, Once Upon a One More Time. Yeah, Britney Spears musical. Well, a musical with Britney Spears music.
Yes.
So if you're a fan of Britney Spears, if you're a fan of musicals, if you're a fan of Broadway, if you're a fan of entertainment, come see the show.
It's the place to be when it's
It is the place to be, yeah. Oh, and there are talks of like Sony adapting the show into a movie. So.
Oh, really? Dope.
Yeah.
Awesome. And per usual, you guys know where to find the podcast. We're now officially on pretty much all social platforms except for TikTok, the podcast. So find us on Twitter, Instagram, TCID podcast. YouTube, TCID, Gerard Cole. And then, of course, if you guys want to follow me, Gerard Cole, I am Gerard Cole on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. I definitely don't TikTok, but it's just so funny because it's like a thing now. But I do have videos because I do kind of TikTok.
I made one video on TikTok and I was just like,
I was like really excited for when you did because I'm like, oh, because you dance, bro. Like I just fucking dabble. You dance.
Yeah, I dance. I don't TikTok dance.
That's jokes. But you can do real dance videos.
There's some really good dancers on TikTok.
Yeah, but I
don't have any interest in it.
I felt the shade.
Yeah, there's so much shade.
And as usual, you guys make sure you keep turning coal into diamonds. Love you guys. Keep spreading love.
Love one another.
Boom.